welcome to a trip down memory lane, at least for me. So I don't talk too much about personal stuff. We always visit things, check out shows, different things like that. But today we're doing a little walk down memory lane. So we are currently in Mooresville, North Carolina, Race City, USA. It is very early morning and I decided to do somewhat of a little walk and talk. We don't really do a lot of those, but we're gonna do it right now. I wanted to visit a few spots while I was driving through. I'm not staying in town, but we went and did the Days of Thunder Barn. So if you didn't check that out, check that out. I've been there before, but it's a new video anyway, so just check it out. But the subject matter for this video is going to be where I went to school. I used to live here. I used to live in Mooresville. So I currently live in Eastern Pennsylvania, which is where I grew up. And going through high school, didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was a big time motorsports fan. If you watch the channel, we go to a lot of races. We go to a lot of NASCAR. We go to a lot of IMSA. We went to the 24 hour of Le Mans in France this year. So, I mean, we do a lot of motorsport stuff. We go a lot of things, see a lot of race cars. I like race cars. Not a big car guy, but I like race cars. So, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, as most young adults don't. The year was 2005, I believe. Started getting into racing and did some short track stuff. Enduro cars, nothing special. Junk cars, still a fun time, but nothing special. And we had a recruiter come from Universal Technical Institute. We had a recruiter come to the school, to my high school, and they pitched all kinds of things, and they had a NASCAR school. Now, at the time, I was a huge NASCAR fan. I still go to NASCAR races. I still occasionally watch. Not the biggest fan anymore because I'm not huge into a lot of their rules. I think a lot of their rules are silly, but that's not what this video is about. But we have to mention NASCAR because they had a NASCAR Technical Institute. It was Universal Technical Institute, part of UTI, but it was a NASCAR branded division. And it was right here down in Race City, USA, right where all the teams are. And I was like, I want to work on a race team. So, I mean, there's more details to it than that, but that's what I ended up coming here. So, in 2007, I started classes here, and I lived in Mooresville itself for a year. We're going to head over there because it's really close to the school where I used to live. It was a house. We're going to see what it looks like. And then I was in school for a year and a half. So then after my lease was up in the house I was in, I actually moved to Lincolnton, which is about a 35-minute drive. Depending on traffic, Mooresville traffic gets insane. If you've ever driven through here, you know that it's just, you get stuck at lights and it's backed up and you can't go, and it will take you 35 minutes to get out of town. And the town just keeps building up and up and up and up. So like, it's even crazy. Like all these trees, these weren't here. Like this was not a little forest. And these trees ahead of me here, switch the camera around. Sorry, that was a very long intro, but that's kind of what this video is about. These trees are humongous. These were little babies when I came. That is nuts. But this is it. I see it has been kind of rebranded. It still says NASCAR on it. NASCAR Performance Lab. But this is the school I went to. Now we're kind of off on the backside. I wanted to get that long-winded intro out while walking on the side of the street. Over here you can see right in the center of the screen there, where that little awning, that wasn't there, but that is where you practice pit stops. I did pit crew stuff there. I was doing tire changing things and things like that. I wasn't very good at anything else. I could hit the lug nuts with the gun, but I wasn't very good at really anything else. Now it's interesting because it has been rebranded. So it says Universal Technical Institute. It used to be called the NASCAR Technical Institute. And you can actually see they kind of let the NASCAR part, it looks like they covered it actually at one point, the sticker there, because it's no longer called NASCAR Technical Institute. It is Universal Technical Institute with NASCAR Performance Labs. So that's kind of interesting. This little building right here, I should have mentioned, that's a chassis dyno. If you don't know what that is, you can take a NASCAR car, or any car really, it doesn't have to be a NASCAR car, and you can find out how much power the engine makes to the wheels. I hurt my ears quite a few times in that room right there. Should have wore hearing protection. What we look back and reflect on and know now. So right there, NASCAR Performance. It really is a beautiful facility, and I can't say that I didn't learn anything, because I learned a lot going to this school. Did I really need to go to this school? I probably wasted some money, but I made a lot of friends. Some of them I do still keep in touch with. Not many, but there are some I still keep in touch with. But that was going to be the plan. I wanted to work on a race team. Now, lots of details as to why that fell through. In racing, not necessarily how good you are or anything, it's kind of who you know. And I had an in. I was actually going to start working for Germain Racing, which was at the time a smaller team. They're still, I think they still race, still a smaller team, but they were a truck team at the time. And I actually went in, they gave me a tour of the shop, you know, introduced me to everybody. Like I said, I had an in, I had a contact, so I was gonna get a job there. And this was back in 2008. Recession, lots of sponsors were dropping different teams, and the particular sponsor, the team, was Lumber Liquidators. They were a very competitive truck team, winning championships, winning races, and when they kind of lost the sponsorship, everybody got fired. So instead of me getting a job and being hired, everybody there got fired. Could have been worse though. I could have started and then immediately got fired. So there's that. That didn't happen, but I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Memories. That is crazy that they went through a complete rebranding of just being a normal old Universal Technical Institute. Said it used to actually be called NTI, NASCAR Technical Institute. All the signs donned NTI. Universal Technical Institute, NASCAR Performance Lab. This is a beautiful building. You can see there is a Joey Logano car inside there. That would make my buddy Corey very happy. He absolutely loves Joey Logano. He hates him so much. But I learned a lot in this building. So I learned metal fabrication, learned how to weld in here. It was good times. Really fun stuff. Back behind the building now, back in this parking lot, spent many a lunch break right back here with the friends. We spent a lot of time here. So I had a pickup truck at the time, and then my friend Chad had a pickup truck, so we would actually park back to back. So we would all sit in the back of the trucks. We would put the tailgates down, and we would just have a big group of us together sitting in the back of the trucks. One neat thing, if you are a NASCAR fan, you'll like this, because you probably like this guy. Right behind the school, this building right here, this is Junior Motorsports. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s race team is right here. That's pretty wild. I went to school right there. Junior Motorsports, right there. Now, when I first started going to school here, this road didn't exist. Actually, about halfway through, it opened up as a dirt road, And I was so excited because if you take this road, it goes to the back of the business park and it leads to Cornelius Road, which is right where I lived. Anyone know the name Kasey Kahne? That's Kasey Kahne Racing right there. So what's cool about this place is you can drive around and there's just race teams everywhere. Right, Drew? Yeah. But yeah, so I used to come down this road. This is crazy. These trees are just, I know it's just trees, but this was nothing but a giant dirt patch. And this road, you would actually, when you were driving, the manhole covers right here. I know we're going desperate for content, but the manhole covers there stuck up out of the road about 8 to 10 inches. So you had to like swerve around them or they would cause some damage. But once we get to the end of this road here, we're gonna make a right onto Cornelius Road. We make our way to Blessing Lane. I believe it's called Blessing Lane because there is a Baptist church right next door. But down this driveway, this is where I lived for just about exactly 1 year of my life. So it was 2 houses down. It was nice that we lived in a house. Most of our friends lived in apartments, and we could do stuff at the house that they didn't do at apartments. So like my friend Kurt, his clutch broke on his truck one time. So he asked, he's like, hey, can we use your driveway? So he changed his clutch in our driveway. It's just fun stuff like that. It's memories. But there was another time, my friend Peach, he didn't live down here, but you've probably seen Pete from time to time. We do lots of adventures together. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he does have a Facebook group, Main Street Capici. I have to look it up. It's right here. That's Peach's photos. He takes a lot of photographs and he's a very good photographer. But they came down, Peach, Corey, Mike, they all came down one time, and I went to work over at Target, and they went dumpster diving, and there was just, I got home and the house was filled with race car pieces. Like I'm talking like whole trucks. I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm not saying I'm not saying they broke any laws, but I'm not sure where they got all that from. That was crazy. But that's the house right there. The little section on the right-hand side, that was my room. So we rented out the rooms. We didn't rent the entire house. So we had revolving roommates here and there. But that's it. I lived there for exactly a year. But that is going to do it for this little walk down memory lane. Thank you for joining me and letting me ramble on about my life. Like I said, I don't discuss a lot of that stuff, but very different from where we are now. It's a completely different world. That was another lifetime. It's insane to think about, but literally a lifetime ago. If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to the channel. We do lots of filming locations, travel videos, and random things from time to time. And until next time, be good, have fun, and learn something. Interesting thing to note, the address changed. It's 110. It used to be 120. Huh. One little add-on. This Target is the Target that I worked at for 2 years. It's crazy to think it was only 2 years of my life. It felt like such a big chapter. But it was only 2 years. Worked right here at the Super Target. And if you watch the Days of Thunder video that I put up, kind of give you a reference where we are in Mooresville. So the barn, the Days of Thunder barn, is pretty much right across the street. There's not this street, but past these businesses is the main road, North Carolina 150. and it is right back there. Oh, and I wanted to mention this. This is hilarious that they're doing this. So everybody, this parking lot is so funny. The entrance and exit is right there. Everybody always would drive straight back through, and you can't get there. You have to drive all the way around like this car is doing. That's so funny that they did that. I was gonna mention that, and then this car started doing it. So they would drive up through here trying to get out, but you can't get out this way, so you had to go super far out of the way. This, where he went, is actually the closest way. See how far he had to go out of the way? Where they went was actually the closest way. You could go that way as well. But that's just funny that someone did that, because I was going to mention it, and yeah, they did the honors for me. They showed the perfect example. But yeah, this is Thunder Barn, right on the other side of 150, right over there, not far from Tarjay. Mooresville, North Carolina, Race City, USA.
Red means stop, yellow means slow down, green means go. So let's go all over this town.